Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 12th through the 18th. And during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous that moves into the last quarter on the 15th, and then the waning crescent moon after that. So those waning periods after that full moon, when the energy is kind of dying down from that light, is a really good time for self-reflection, rebirth, a good time to make positive changes, get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. Then we get to that last quarter moon, and it's really a time to let go of those things that no longer serve us, and we're just kind of preparing for new beginnings, letting go, taking responsibility for our past actions, and kind of thinking about how we want to move forward. And then the waning crescent is definitely just that final couple of days of rest, healing, surrender, just fully letting go and kind of starting to rejuvenate ourselves for the next cycle ahead. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: surrender to the divine. Okay, let's see what the Capricorn Collective has going on for this week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder this week is that you try to take some time to meditate this week, whether it be a day or two or every day this week if you want to, but try to start working it into your routine. Just find a nice quiet place where you can sit or lay down. If you lay down, you might fall asleep. That's what happens to me. I don't stay sitting. But if a nap is okay, then go ahead and do that. I've had some very interesting meditations that have turned into naps, so that's fine as well. But anyway, take some time to meditate and try to work that into your routine this week. But find a nice quiet place, just still your mind, your body, and just let go and explore. Try to get to where you're not even letting thoughts come in. If they come in, you just need to kind of observe them and let them go. Don't focus too much on them. And then just try to get to where you're in that space where nothing's happening, where there's just quiet. So see if you can get down that deep. It's hard for me to do, but I can do it. So anyway, that's my fun, friendly reminder, is that you try to start working some meditation into your daily routine. So, all right, Capricorn, without further ado, let's get into this reading. October 12th through the 8th. Surrender to the divine. Let's see what you guys have going on. I'm curious to know. All right, your overall present energy is the strength card. So you're going to need some inner strength for whatever it is you're about to face. So, if there's something that you are going to have to surrender to the divine, you're just going to have to be strong enough to do it. So of course this is strength in both mind and body. This is, overcoming the internal and the external, taming that beast. So your current situation is the King of Wands. So this is an energy of really having a knowledge of something that you're super, super passionate about. And then being strong enough to move forward with it. So there looks like there's some combination here of passion and strength. So not a bad combo. At the root of the situation is the Two of Wands. So you're definitely thinking about, it's almost like you've had an achievement here and you're wondering, do I stay here or do I go bigger? Are you happy where you are? You're definitely standing there with the world in your hands. This is like an accomplishment that you've done it. You're kind of, and you're wondering, do I want to move forward, stay where I am, or move forward and go bigger? So that's kind of a question you'll need to ask yourself this week. In your recent past, is feeling like you against the world. Lots of wands in this reading here so far, with the strength all around you. So surrendering to the divine. But in your recent past, you felt like it was kind of you against the world. The cheese that stands alone, that you had something you were really fighting for, that other people really couldn't understand why you were fighting so hard for it. It may be more apparent now. It may have come to fruition. Like it looks like like I said, you've had some sort of victory. So you're having the last laugh there. What's on your mind this week is the moon. Okay, so Here we've got this surrender to the divine and this big full moon card, and then this full moon card under it. The moon is the card of mystery, and it's almost a card of, kind of what's hidden in the night. It's about your intuition. It's about really following, your inner guidance. It's about following the signs that the universe is telling you. So, hold on, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me, I'm a little sneezy today. Um, so, do you surrender to it? And that's your advice already in this reading, is to, watch for those signs, watch for those synchronicities. In what ways the universe guiding you? And the universe is definitely guiding you on either staying or going a little bigger with this thing that you're very passionate about. It looks like you've had some success, and I think you are kind of leaving it up to the divine. You're wondering, what do I do? And you're kind of reaching out and asking for that sort of, you're asking that question. You're not really sure. So, definitely just watch the signs, listen to your intuition, listen to dreams that you might be having. You may want to jot those down. My advice is to kind of keep a journal with these spiritual things, synchronicities, dreams, those sorts of things, because they do kind of add up over time, and you can kind of see a pattern of, maybe what the universe is trying to tell you or how to guide you. But you're looking for that sort of guidance, and I think you're hoping to find it in kind of that esoteric way. It might be why you're at a tarot reading right now. It could be why you're reading certain books. Maybe there's been some sort of awakening or something, and you know you you're on this roll with this thing that you're very passionate. You've got a lot of feeling about, and you're really good at it too. So, and you're wondering, what should I do? Am I going to stay or go bigger? What is just ahead of you? Okay, is a collaboration here with the Three of Pentacles. So, a lot of times this is like a professional collaboration, and it could be, maybe it means you're taking your passion from kind of a hobby to a professional arena, but you're going to collaborate with others. It's ahead of you that there are other people involved, and maybe other people are, asking questions about how to make whatever this thing that you're so engaged with, how to make it more accessible and how to make it more successful. And I think you're looking for those sorts of signs. You're kind of asking that question, like you're going to leave it up to, and almost just as an analogy, I get the feeling, let's say that you're an inventor. You've invented a widget, and the widget's selling very well on its own. And you're wondering, do I stay here with the widget? And, when you were inventing this widget, you had people that were like, that widget's never going to do anything, but you really believed in it, and you pushed to get it out into the marketplace, and it's doing pretty well. Well, now you're wondering, you're at a stage where you've kind of maybe hit the wall of your success level, and you're wondering, do I collaborate with others? That looks like it's in your future. And you're literally asking the universe, what should I do? Show me the sign. So now it's up to you to, since you've asked the question, to really follow the signs and pay attention and see what those signs are. In your advice position is the Three of Swords. So there may be some sort of, and I always like to say with this card that, of course, these swords are going through a heart, but they're swords. So it's thoughts. And it can also, just imagine it kind of going through your mind, like, um, I get the feeling, like, imagine really racking your brain on an idea, and you think it's the idea, but it doesn't go through. So yeah, of course it's a little heartbreaking, but it's like mind breaking. It's like, oh, back to the drawing board on that one. So, and your advice is to, I think, to not be afraid of that, to not be afraid to have that new idea and to push it forward. I'm also going to say that we've got 2 3s now showing. So look up angel number 33. We'll see if another one pops out during this reading also. What is beyond your control this week is another 3. How interesting. 3 3 3. So beyond your control is a little bit of celebration. So I think you need to be open to the fact that a collaboration can lead to heartbreak, heartache, mind break, right? But you're going to celebrate it. It's almost like, I feel like, allow yourself to do that, and like take the risk, and know that it might not be the thing that works out, but it might be. And I think you're going to celebrate it either way, if that makes sense to you. Like, even if that thing doesn't work, we're still good. We're still good. We're still doing great. We're at a place where we don't have to go big, but if we do, it's awesome, and if this thing doesn't work, that's okay. We'll go back and try the next thing. So anyway, 333 out on the table for you. That's very interesting. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Queen of Swords. So you're trying to avoid speaking very clearly and logically, or it is your secret desire to do this. So to whom, I'm not sure. That'll be a question for you, is, are you trying to, adopt this, this energy of this queen, which is definitely logical, but it's definitely that she says what's on her mind and she speaks it and she's not afraid to speak it. So that'll be your big question this week. Is that your secret desire to take on those attributes, or are you trying to avoid taking on those attributes? I mean, I feel like that would be your secret desire to speak as clearly as you possibly can, but maybe not. That's a big question for you this week. In your outcome position is, look at this. And I feel like, I almost feel like any path you take here, like I said, even though this heartbreak may happen, it's like you get up and dust yourself back off and you do it again, because you believe in this project so much. You believe in whatever this is so much that, and here your outcome is the ultimate wealth and long-term security and card. So, the 10 of Pentacles is it's one of the most awesome cards in the deck. It's about, not only your wealth and happiness, but about the continued wealth and happiness of family. This is like if that's the money card, that's the one you're looking for. So, um, and everything is saying go for it. But your advice says don't be afraid to go for it and be disappointed, because you're just going to dust yourself right back off. You're still going to celebrate no matter what, and you're going to just try it again. If that thing doesn't work, try another thing. You're used to being you against the world, so what's that going to hurt? Hidden from you this week at the bottom of the deck is venturing off to find other things here with the 8 of Cups. Yeah, I think you're very focused. I think you're very focused on this one particular thing, this one particular passion, this thing, and you're kind of, like I said, giving it over to the divine and saying, I want to make it bigger. But it's almost like there's going to be some luck elements, and meeting the right people at the right time elements. So again, and go for it, and it's okay if, because I feel like, again, if it's a disappointment, you're just going to dust off and try the next thing, and eventually you're going to get to where it is long-term wealth and health and security, which is pretty awesome. So I'm very curious to know, Capricorn, what you guys are engaged in. I mean, I know Capricorns are typically very goal-oriented, and once you guys have an idea, it is you against the world, and you just put your head down and go. So I'm real curious about what that might be for some of you. So if you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know. The Soul Oracle deck for you, the advice that it gives you this week is to say, make better choices. Also, I just want to point out that the bottom of this card it's a 3-0. So let's just add up all the threes that we can in this entire reading. 3 3s and a 30. Interesting. Yeah, and maybe look up combinations of the number 3 for numerology for you and see if those messages help you this week. All right, Capricorn, with self-care this week, what is it that you need to do in the way of self-care? And your card is the card called Space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. What you remove from your life rather than what you add to it. All right, think about that. See if that helps you or means anything to you. We're going to make better choices this week, and we're just going to make choices. I think don't get stuck in the non-decision making. Pay attention to the universe. Watch for those signs and symbols. Watch for these threes. Watch for, the synchronicities that come about. Sometimes they come in the way of numbers, or they come in the way of animals, or overheard conversations, those sorts of things, but they're all out there. There's a lot of things to guide you into the decision that you need to make. So Capricorn, thank you so much for being here with me today. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use this week. Of course, again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know what kind of things you're going through. What kind of passion projects are you involved with? What are you trying to do that you're trying to lead to long-term wealth. So we'd all be kind of curious to know. You don't have to be too specific, but let us know what you're working on out there. Excuse me. Also, if you like my reading style, if you would hit like and subscribe, it really helps my channel, and it just pushes me out in the algorithm, which is awesome as a new YouTuber. I would really appreciate that. But more importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this energy changes, or if there's something completely new here for you, or if this story continues. I'm real curious to see where it goes. So thanks so much, Capricorn. Good luck with all of this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.